and welcome to Eastern European Gamer. My name is Alex, and this is another entry in a series of videos called Single Player Reviews. In these videos we'll take a look at some of the games that drew my attention enough to be worth a playthrough, and I'll give you my honest opinion on whether or not they're worth your time. I recently got the question, why single player reviews? Well, as the name suggests, in these videos I focus mostly on the single player experience, as despite being a gamer for almost 30 years now, I've never managed to get on the twitchy, countery, run with a knife kill death ratio Fortnite, PUBG, Apexy bandwagon. As such, I'm generally not interested in that kind of multiplayer experience. Don't get me wrong, I can probably still hold my own in an Unreal Tournament match. I can absolutely rocket jump in Quake, and I can likely rush you successfully in StarCraft. I do not by definition hate every interaction with other players, and have often chuckled at the messages left by others in Dark Souls. I'm just not that into first or third person shooting matches. I know, so uncool and unfashionable. All of that being said, I deeply enjoy a well-crafted single-player story in an FPS. And before you accuse me of being a narrative snob, my absolute favorite FPS for years was Soldier of Fortune, because of the ragdoll physics and the knife to the limbs thing. Got all that? Good. Now, let's check the exclusively single-player game, Control. What?
Retribution for my sins. Our sins.
The fuck? Is this shit? Ah, Remedy. Hang on a sec. Yeah, okay. If you've never played a Remedy game before, they made Alan Wake, and Quantum Break, and Max Payne 1 and 2, and not a lot else. Which is just weird, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. Remedy is a Finnish developer, which was started by members of former demo scene group Future Crew. Remember when the demo scene used to be a thing? God, I'm old. It took them about 7 years to create the first two Max Payne games, about 7 more to create Alan Wake, and a further 5 to create Quantum Break. They always build their own engines for each game, although Control is actually using physics, and I strongly suspect some of the writers on staff are seriously brilliant and equally damaged people. And the end result? Sheer bloody cinematic lunacy. Okay, so the story? You play as Jesse Faden, the Bureau's new director, which you become within 5 minutes of walking in from the street as a civilian. And you explore the oldest house, the Federal Bureau of Control's paranormal headquarters. You also utilize powerful abilities in order to defeat a deadly enemy known as the Hiss, which has invaded and corrupted reality. And if that sounds confusing, well, it's not. I mean, it is, but it's the least of your concerns. Just look at this. Do you know what that was? The board of the FBC, tasked with containing and studying phenomena that violate laws of reality. Okay. Next, there's a frequency. Yes, a frequency. That's your best friend. It is a blue frequency, if that helps. There are objects of power, such as a shape-shifting gun, a rubber duck that apparently follows you around, and a fridge that needs to be constantly watched by a human being, or else. There's the oldest house itself, which is bigger on the inside, and shifting, and may actually be infinite, and connects to a lot of places that which generally do not exist. When I think back about playing the game, it's aspects of the oldest house that come back to mind. That, and the feeling like you have when you recollect a fever dream. And no, I cannot describe it better than that, feel free to try down in the comments. And all this does not even provide an inkling into the ashtray maze, or Ahti the janitor's vacation. It's not just madness, it's a consistently escalating, worrying on a fundamental level madness that will induce unease and uncertainty into the player, just as Remedy planned. There's an intentional connection to the real-life Secure Contain Protect or SCP website, and while those are generally written accounts, Control is a full audio and video interactive experience, and also the best looking game I've ever played. Speaking of playing the gameplay, in addition to the shape-shifting gun, you can pretty much live out every X-Men fantasy you've ever had. Well, maybe not all of them. In a joyous killing spree against the Hiss, mostly identified as a red frequency, if that helps. Turns out some of the objects of power can be bound to you and will confer, I want to say abilities, but let's call them Christmas presents, since that's how it feels when you use them. I can literally hit every part of the environment, and especially enemies, with every other part of the environment. And I can do a cool Magneto-like shield, only using concrete debris. And I can fly. And I can do all that in the most atmospheric thing I played since... Gosh, dare I call it the most atmospheric thing I've ever played? So then, is Control the best game of all time, perfect in every aspect? Well, no, it's certainly not perfect. Jessie talks to herself and the blue frequency in what is likely the most idiotic conversation / inner dialogue you've heard in a while. Enemy variation is low, relying instead on bigger and more complex waves. The story doesn't end as well as it develops, etc. All of that being said, it's one of my favorite games of all time and you should go buy it right now. I'll wait. Back already. Yes, this is potentially the single most annoying thing about Control. It is currently an Epic Games Store exclusive and a digital exclusive on the PC. The game is also out on PS4. Without doing a whole thing about this, are exclusives a good idea? No. Does it nevertheless serve a good purpose if we believe Epic Games? Yes. Do we believe Epic Games? Not really. But the most annoying thing about it, bar none, is tying the game to a platform that does not yet have all the feature it needs. I'll say this and no more about it. I liked this game so much that I wanted to buy it as a Christmas present for my brother. You can't. Period. No code, no gift, no nothing. Anyway, Control will likely be out on Steam in August 2020. Should you wait? Only if you do it as a matter of principle. The game itself is definitely worth playing ASAP, and I fully recommend it. Hope you liked this video, but feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you did, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Till next time, la revedere!